Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dawn. Today I'm finishing these two massive journals. They're made from old Reader's Digest books. I have been sort of sitting on them for a while and have just to finish the last couple of steps. Now, because I worked on these so long ago, I have to get kind of reacquainted with them. I did just do the covers. I have picked out already two journal toppers for these, so I'll just be putting those on the journals. But what I'm gonna start with today is binding the pages. So I have this really pretty book cover. Sorry, there was like a thing on my camera. I'm trying to see if it's on it's on the screen, so it's not on the, like, you won't see it, so that's fine. So I have these book covers. I took out the old pages, put some fabric down. I picked this one because it kind of goes with all the colors that are in the journal. And then I have this, there was like a sticky thing on the book here. Someone must have had a sticker on it or something and then peeled it off, so I had to cover it up, but I think it looks really cute. These are kind of like a sewing and art themed journal collection, and I will do a better flip through at the end. I will do a full flip through at some point. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the center of this signature, open it up, and sort of realign all my pages the way that I want them, and get the signatures really well tucked up, and make sure that nothing's like upside down. Hopefully nothing's upside down when I bind it. Yeah, so I prepped these pages a long time ago and then just never finished the journal. You know, I've been busy, lots been happening. This is a pocket page, actually, so a lot's been going on in my life, and I have a lot of like half-done projects that I sort of abandoned that I need to get back to. So this, you can see, matches the inside of the cover. This was the first page of the Reader's Digest book, and I thought it was really cute that it had this "book belongs to" on it, so I've decided to keep it. So I have a pile of paper clips over here, these giant paper clips, and I'm just gonna put one on the top of each side of each signature. So there's our first signature, do the middle one. Some of these pages are from 1970s art magazines, and some of them are reprints from magazines. Oops, got more than one page. So if you're wondering, I have some of the magazine pages and advertisements as a digital in my shop, and I also have some untouched by me, at least. I mean, they've clearly been read, but untouched by me, like I didn't take any pages out. Some of the original 1970s art magazines, all in my shop under the Artist's Palette collection, because these were supposed to be a part of the Artist's Palette collection. That's how long it's been since I started working on these journals. I think that was probably like almost a year ago. I don't know. No, it might have just been February. I don't know. It's been a long few months. That feels like longer than a few months. So I'm just going through, finding the middle. I don't have to arrange anything because I already did that. So this is a digital scan of one of the covers of the American Artist magazine. So it's blank on the back because it was just a print. But I do have a kit with full-size pages and a kit with like ephemera and postcard kind of size pieces. Digital kits, printables, if you're interested in some cool 1970s ephemera, but don't have access to magazines like this one. So just getting all these arranged, making sure everything's right side up. So I have to say, just a quick funny note, if you ever are seeing my videos and it's like the middle of summer, and especially if you live near me, like right now it is like in the 90s outside and I'm down here filming wearing a sweatshirt, and that is because I have my craft space in the basement, and it's the room next door, which this isn't really like a fully finished basement, so it's not really a room, so it's almost the same space as the air conditioning system, and it is so cold down here when the air conditioner is running, like unbearably cold, and I'll be shivering and I'll go upstairs and instantly like sweat, and like, you know how when you're outside in the winter, if you wear glasses, because I wear glasses, if you're outside in the winter and you come inside and your glasses fog up, like sometimes that happens when I go upstairs after working on my journals. Okay, so I have this little tool that has, it's a V with holes in it, and this is definitely not necessary if you're making your own journal. This is, though. It's not necessary if you're making your own journal, but I have carpal tunnel, and I found this really, really helps if I'm making a bunch of journals at once, especially if they have multiple signatures. So I use this for all of mine, but I definitely don't think it's necessary unless you have wrist problems. So I'm gonna do, it's 30 inches tall, so I'm gonna do it, or 30 whatever these are, they're probably quarter inches, I don't know, it's 30 tall, so I'm gonna do it at 15, and then I'm just gonna go to 3, and I'm gonna go to 27, and then I'm gonna write that down, because if I'm talking and making a video, I will 100% forget, and I have to do these 3 signatures, and then I have to go back, like go into, when I do that one, it's the same size. So it doesn't punch the holes quite all the way through, so you won't actually be able to see holes here, but you can see them on the inside, and then I just finish poking them through. But I have found that this tool helps, so if you do have carpal tunnel or other wrist issues, maybe consider investing in a bookbinding. I don't remember what this is called. I don't know. My husband got this for me as a gift. So some point last year, I was really struggling making journals, or maybe 2 years ago. There was a point I was really struggling, and I was in a lot of pain. My wrist started to really hurt, and I actually had to go see like a specialist for it because I was freaking out, and I'm not 30 yet, so it didn't cross my mind to have carpal tunnel, because in my mind that was always like something you get when you're older. So see, they're, now I don't have to do a template because they're lined up perfectly. So yeah, I was freaking out about it, and when I figured out what it was like a huge relief that that was it, and I didn't like seriously injure myself. But it has been very stressful trying to like adapt and figure out how I can keep making journals with carpal tunnel that does like flare up really bad sometimes, and with certain things I do. And actually the binding process is one of the most painful processes for me. So after that diagnosis, for my birthday, my husband got me this tool and a couple of other like bookbinding tools to try. This is the only one I've like started religiously using. But yeah, that was a gift. I know that you can find them on Amazon, and I know that there are different like sponsored companies that make them. But I don't remember what it's called. So I don't really pay a lot of attention to what goes on in my own life, I So what I'm going to try to do is, this has like a weird kind of curve to the spine, which I'm really liking, so I don't want to mess that up. So I'm going to take this book and line it up straight, and then I'm just going to clip it, and then I can see my spine here, and I can put, this does have a front and a back because I put that thing on the back, so this is the back cover. So I'm going to hold that up to the spine where I want it, and then I'm going to grab this Sharpie and I'm going to put a dot where I think the middle of the spine is. Having a plaid pattern actually is really helping with this slightly wonky spine. Okay. Usually I would just use my eyeballs to figure out where it is. But this again is like weirdly shaped. So I'm gonna poke those holes. Having the plaid, which I like worked really hard to get the plaid on straight, or you know, parallel to the cover, so that's actually helping. And then I know I have 3 signatures, so I'm just gonna eyeball the distance here and poke a hole the same distance on each side of the middle hole. I know some people have to measure this all out. I've found I'm pretty good at just doing it like this. I don't really struggle with it. If you need to measure it and mark everything, go for it. There's no shame. I will not shame you for needing to like over measure or triple check yourself or anything. I don't feel I need to, because I've been doing it long enough. Okay, so I have 2 boxes here. I actually have like 8 boxes of this, but right now I have 2 boxes, and I think I wanted to use the variegated, but I think that this is really a good color. I think that one's a good color, so I'm going to use that one. I have a little, it's like an old chalkboard storage thing on the wall above my desk, and it's magnetic. So I have a magnet, just a big plain magnet up there that I use to stick my binding needle to, and that has saved me from losing my needle a lot of times. Okay, so I measured 3 times the height of the spine, and now I'm gonna make 3 pieces of that size because I have 3 signatures. I have been doing my art shows this summer. I had one in June. It was really fun, but it was not a very productive show. It was at a local farm. It's not that local to me, but it was a cute little farm in a cute little area with like a big community. So I'm happy to travel a little ways to go to something that seems like it's going to be really good. It wasn't that productive of a weekend for me, but it was the farm's first time hosting a art show, craft show, you know, whatever they were calling it. And I think that they were really open to feedback and doing better next time. And they were listening to all the vendors about what like would make it a better experience, what would make it more productive. And they're really excited to do another one in the future. And so even though I like didn't maybe make as much money as I would have liked to, I think I had like overall a pretty positive experience. And I think that it's not, I mean, it kind of is because this is my job, but it's not always about like the most productive. There's also all the behind the scenes things And I've gone to really big shows that are so poorly organized that I don't make much money. And so I think I would rather go to a show that's like well organized and like receptive to feedback, and not do like record sales or anything, but like know that the next time I come back it'll be better and better, and that I can have like a positive conversation with the organizers and not feel like I'm getting, like, when I go to, now I'm just rambling. When I go to an art show, I feel like the people organizing the art show and the people selling at the art show, like, I feel like we're part of a team. We're on the same team. We all want this, art show to go well. We all want it to be successful. We all want lots of people to come. Like, that's how I feel like it should be. And that's how I think it should feel. Like, even the other artists there, even if they sell something similar or they're like sort of competition, like, even we're all on the same team. We all want a lot of people to come, because the more eyes, the more, customers, the better. And sometimes I have experiences with art shows where it feels like the people organizing it are not there to support the artists, and I don't understand how you can run an art show if you're not coming in with the attitude of like supporting the artists. So the reason I'm rambling about that is because I had an art show set up for I guess it's this month now, because today I'm filming this, it's July 1st. So I had an art show set up for later in July, and I was pretty excited about it when I read the description and like sent the application in. But then every time I got communication from them, it felt like they kept changing things, and like they seemed a little hostile. And their emails weren't like, hey, this is how it's gonna go, here's the information you need. Their emails were more like, you have to do this, and make sure you do this, and make sure you're like doing it this specific way so that everybody looks coordinated. And I was like, that's not like it wasn't like a kind way to communicate with the artists. So I got really overwhelmed by it, because I'm like, it was pretty far away from me. It would have been a pretty big drive. So I was looking forward to expanding like my selling radius a little bit. But a couple weeks ago, last week, I don't know, time is crazy. Last week I was talking to one of my artist friends about it that I met through selling locally. And I was telling him about this show and how stressful it was. And he was like, well, just cancel. And I think having another artist sort of, not that I like needed permission, I could do what I want, but having another artist sort of validate me and support me in canceling was what I needed. And so I canceled it. And I'm proud of myself for that, because, like the social anxiety of saying, yes, I'm going to do this, and then changing your mind. But I don't feel like my canceling was like problematic for them, because they're still 2 weeks out. There's like plenty of time for them to pull someone off the wait list. They hadn't sent out maps or details on the, anything like that. So it wasn't last minute. It's still a couple weeks away. So I canceled that show, and I'm proud of myself for that, because it feels like standing up for myself a little bit, like not just putting up with the hostility when I can tell from the way that the organizers are communicating that it's not going to be like a well advertised or well organized show. And I have better things to do with my time. So anyway, that rant aside. So I'm leaving all these strings because it's like a sewing themed journal. But usually when I do make my journals, I'll trim the strings off the bottom. I kind of just like the idea of it being flat on the bottom, but then the strings that are at the top, they can kind of like tuck into the pages. And I I know anybody who buys a journal, that's just tangled, can cut the strings themselves. Like, that feels like something that's totally easier. It's easier to cut off the strings if you buy a journal and you don't like them. It's easier to cut off the strings than it is to add them back. You know, you can't add strings back, so I tend to leave them. That's a pocket. So here's the pages in the journal. Just a quick glimpse. I'll do a full flip through video, probably with music. I don't know. I don't have a lot of memory left on my phone, so I'll be stopping the video soon. Just kind of showing these off quickly. So all the signatures are in there nicely, and that's that one. And it's got this little like sewing machine theme. And then this here is gonna go on the cover, I think. I'm also contemplating making it a pocket on the inside, or just leaving it and tucking it in to let whoever buys it decide, because I do love the cover. What do you think? Do you think I should attach this to the front? Should I attach it to the inside? Or should I just tuck it in the pocket so that the person who purchases it can decide? Let me know your opinion, because I'll probably have the same... I have the same question about this one. I don't think that looks good there because the... Can you see that? Because the ruffle is right here. I don't think that looks good. I do think that looks good, but I could also... There's a pocket in here somewhere. I could just tuck it in. So let me know, what do you think I should do with the pink and the yellow journal toppers? Because I would love an opinion on that. So that's bound. Look at that. That's pretty. It's not focusing. That's really pretty. I love that. So that's that one. I can talk a little bit more. I have like the memory on my phone is running out. So it says I have like 6 minutes left. So let's see what we can get done in 6 minutes. Here's my first signature. I gotta organize my signatures. And then I don't know that I need to bind it on camera. It's not like I'm doing a tutorial or anything. I'm also really bad at binding on camera anyway. So yeah, that's that with the art show. I was gonna do one. I don't want to give too much info. Like, I don't want to trash talk a show. I don't know. I could be the problem. So I don't want to say anything like bad about an art show. So I'm not gonna say like what the date is or what the location is or anything like that. But I didn't have a good experience with the communication from this show, and I ended up, I canceled it, and I'm feeling good about that. I'm feeling that that was the right move for me. And then also, while I was talking to my artist friend, he told me about another local show that he had just found that he was gonna do, and I was like, well, that sounds great. So I signed up for that one instead. It's on a different day, but it's still in July. I like to try to do one a month, so that covers my July show. So I'm pretty excited for July now. I was kind of dreading when I had that other show, but now I'm excited again. So I do have to prep a lot. It's a big area. It's a big like art walk at the like end of a giant community festival. They're doing a big art show. The art show is actually so big that it's in 2 separate parks in the city. Like, I don't know. I think it's a town city. It's bigger than a town. I don't know. Anyway, there's 2 big parks, and they're splitting the art show in half, so there will be basically 2 different art shows, but organized by the same people. It's really cool. I hope that doesn't like confuse people that are shopping, but I think even if it does, it's like even having 2 different art shows where you only end up seeing half of the show. I think that's still fine. Like if only half the people know that I'm there, it's still going to be a lot of people, so I'm okay with that. But I think it will be fun, and a lot of people that I'll talk to that stop by, I'll tell them, you know, head over here to the other show, the other half of the show. And I think that's like part of the job as like an artist, is to make sure that people experience the whole show and to like support everybody else. It would be cool if I was in the same area of the show as my artist friend, but I figure at this point I've made enough friends that I might just be near somebody else I know. So I'm not gonna like overthink that. So that's the signatures. Let's get a color. What color do I want for this? Probably a like this. Ooh, this brown actually. Or this brown? That brown. That one looks really good. So yeah, I have been trying to finish journals, trying to get things squared away, trying to actually have stuff to sell, and also trying to like get some rest after what's been a really long couple of months. So if you've made it this far in my rambling video, since I only have a few minutes left before I have to stop recording, I have a question, and that question is, if you've been following me, or even if you're new, would you be interested in following along for a cooking and like farmhouse cooking themed journal series? And the reason I ask is because I got through Facebook Marketplace a giant collection of cookbooks. They're all different kinds of cookbooks, all different, like there's spiral bound, there's hardbound, there's like even just cooking magazines. And I was thinking I want to take them and make a journal collection and make a journal kit. And if you saw my So Lovely journal kits, do you have feedback on those? I could make some that are bigger and some that are smaller. The smaller they are, the lower the price point will be. If you got my So Lovely journal kit, did you like it? I do still have some available if you're wanting to go look at those. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they're in my Etsy shop, so you can go look at those and see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so would anyone be interested in a similar kit to the So Lovely but cooking? And also on that, would you be interested in a different size, bigger or smaller? Because I could do that too. I'm still trying to like sort through the cookbooks, but I definitely want to make some journals and some journal packs out of those cookbooks. It's a lot of cookbooks. I could even take the covers from the books and I could prep them and do the spines and make them ready to make journals if you wanted. So if you have any like feedback on what you're looking for in a journal kit, I would love to hear it in the comments. I would absolutely be open to that. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I have seconds left. So thank you for joining me. Please follow me. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll be back later with flip throughs of these journals and some other journals I've been working on. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye.